why he continues to like banks, why he's still going big on the power sector, and what he believes would be the key triggers as we step into the elections.
Power looks like an interesting space. I mean, if you look at India's power capacity, if you look at, say, let's take solar or say wind, solar is expected to, the capacity is expected to double in 3 years. Wind is expected to double in 4 years. Even on thermal, expected to add almost say 60, 70 gigawatts in the next 3-4 years. And the entire chain could benefit. We've underinvested in power, especially in thermal, if you see, over the last 3-4 years, and we could have shortage, because I speak to some of the experts. They say that this summer we are already hitting peak capacity in thermal as we speak, during the peak hours, and we are underinvested. So what will happen is the entire ecosystem will benefit. One have to investigate which one does well. Sure. But I think if we are going to add so much capacity, it takes me back to 2003 to 7 period when this entire ecosystem did very well. We could see a repeat of that. We could see irrational exuberance also in that. So it's for people to do their own homework and buy what you would want to.
And if I can extend that point further, just think about 2000 in 2008 when the thermal capacities were getting created. There were companies which are giving thermal capacity solutions, engineering companies, turbine companies. Now I think only 1 or 2 names are left who are actually genuinely making equipment for thermal powers. So bet on thermal power, not bet on generators, but bet on the nuts and the bolts.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts. It's also distribution. So it doesn't end there, right? So you need transformers, you need wires. It's a whole ecosystem. I think there is a lot. I mean, what you're saying is exactly the way we are thinking. That look at the entire ecosystem, and we're going to see a boom in this segment. So since she asked for which is the segment where you could see a lot of activity, if this were to play out, then the entire ecosystem will benefit.
We've seen a typical pattern play. Markets rally ahead of elections, they fall after elections. Will 2024 be different?
As I said, we haven't seen any rally in the last months because we got the
Even
rally.
December included.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying. We got the rally after the state elections. So I don't see any rally coming because I've been on the ground for the last 1 month, various states, and I think it's broadly a given. It's a question of what is the number. I mean, some say 370, 400. I'm not in that camp. I think 320 looks more a reasonable number, but even that is very good if you ask me. So it's broadly a given. So I don't see a rally. So I think maybe the rally comes post the first budget because people will want to see what the template for the new government is. So we've seen Modi 01, Modi 02. Now, what is it that the market, what are they wanting to do in terms of reforms for the third term is how I would say. So I would expect a rally, a proper rally to happen post July. It could be a rally, it could also be a shock, depending on what we get.
So I'll construct a scenario purely based on near term. Let me construct 3 scenarios, election outcome. Clear majority, we're talking about 350 plus. Major majority which is closer to 400, and thin majority which is like 300 plus. I'm not even using the word 2, I'm using 300 plus consciously. How do you see market reacting in all these instances?
I don't think it will react too differently because 300 plus itself is a fairly decent number.
That's home, calm ho gaya.
Yeah, calm ho gaya. So I don't think the market, I think the market will be more focused on, broadly a given right now. If I go back to 2019 also, people weren't sure, at least initially it wasn't a given that you're going to get 300 plus. I mean, because it was a big surprise. That's why the markets actually rallied, and 300 plus gives that much more number of seats in Rajya Sabha, so that you can pass tough regulations. I understand broadly it is given. I don't see the market. I think markets will be more focused on what is the new reform that the government can push through. Agri reform, can they push through labor reforms? What sort of tax rationalization are we going to expect? Privatization, which has been a promise, hasn't been delivered. I think these are the things the market will look at. Broadly, the economy seems to be doing well. Some pockets of stress here and there. But I think once we get through that, I think the market should be fine. I mean,
a continuity of this government seems pretty likely and par for the course, like you're all saying the count doesn't even matter now. I guess the next litmus test is going to be the next budget, right, from this government. What could derail the sentiment for capital markets?
I think there's a big question mark on something that they've been talking about. The previous finance secretary before leaving also highlighted this in one of his interviews, that they want to rationalize the definition of long-term capital asset. And that's clearly on the table. I don't think that has gone away, which is that different capital assets have different tenures. Equity has 1 year, real estate has 2 years, REIT has, I think, something totally different. And they have highlighted this in the past that they want to rationalize it. When they rationalize, will everything come to 1 year or will everything go to a year? That's for anybody to guess. So I think tax rationalization is surely going to happen. And we've seen in the past that some tax rationalization happened. Markets initially were a bit jittery and then we digested it and moved on. That's what is going to happen. Whether it happens in July or whether it happens next February, it's only a question of timing. It's surely going to happen.